I feel like we do have kind of an artsy scene here too. And I just like love to see everyone's creative side come out, and what a pretty city to do it in. Seriously. I know we're spoiled. I think that like the thing about Charleston is it probably is historic preserved homes, I would say, in the country. And you just don't see that everywhere.
Pull up a chair. You're sitting at the table with Power Haus Women, the podcast where bold women in business come to connect, collaborate, and build something bigger than themselves.
We always say, if you're fortunate to have a seat at the table, pull up 3 more. That's exactly what we're doing here.
This isn't just a conversation, it's a movement. We're creating space at the table for conversations that matter. The ones that challenge you, push you, and remind you that you do not have to do this alone.
Every episode, we're talking growth, success, and the real, unfiltered truths of entrepreneurship. No gatekeeping,
no fluff, just the perspective and community that you need to thrive. So if you're ready to surround yourself with women who get it, you're in the right place, and there is already a seat with your name on it. What's up, Powerhouses? Welcome back to At the Table with Power Haus Women.
Today, we're pulling up a chair for Miss Giovanna Richard. She is a realtor in Charleston, an Airbnb host, our Power Haus Women market partner, and I have to add a founding market partner at that. And she was Charleston Reel Producers 40 Under 40 in 2022. Welcome to the table, Miss G.
Hi, ladies. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here. We jump into things pretty quickly, and we start with founders' questions. So my question to you is, what initially pulled you into real estate, and how was that transition breaking into the Charleston market coming from the Northeast?
Oh my gosh, that is an amazing question. Well, I've been in real estate since I was in college. So I went to college at Charleston, and that's kind of what got me away from the Northeast to begin with. I just was like, I need warm weather. Maine was too cold, dark winters. I just want to do something so different. And so that's kind of what got me to the South. And then when I went to the College of Charleston, I interned with a few different real estate brokerages throughout the summers and also throughout the school year as well. And I was more so on the marketing side for a long time. And then I was like, I should just get my license. And so by my senior year, I got my real estate license. And I honestly have just never looked back. It's all I've done since I was in college.
I love that. I always love to hear people's journeys and when they started, because we have a few girls, obviously, within Power Haus Women that have started more so recently. And then we also have girls that have been in it forever. So love that. Morgan's question was, you are effortlessly charming and relational. People just love you, which they do. What's something people don't see about you that actually makes that possible?
That's really sweet. And shout out to Morgan. Love her. What do people not see? I think that my boyfriend might say that I have like a Mina side. Some days I'm Gina, some days I'm Mina. No, just kidding. But I definitely think I can be really direct. And in a negotiation, I feel like my tone of voice gets much lower and I can be super serious. And I really like fight for my people, not even just in real estate, but like my friends, my family. I'm super like more extrovert when it comes to that. I feel like I can be really charming, but I definitely have a side to me where I'm like, don't mess with me. Mostly don't mess with my people.
Don't mess with Mina.
Scary.
I love that. But I think that duality is a superpower. And that's something that we could dive into in a little bit once we get through founders' questions. Carly's question, a little bit kind of spinning off of the fact that you travel, which we can also talk about. People probably always ask you, what's your favorite place to go? What's the best trip you've ever had? What's the most overrated place that you've ever been?
Oh my gosh. This is so good. Okay, I feel like I'm going to get some haters for this response. I've been a lot of places and I've traveled Europe a lot. And I feel like I'm just going to go with parts of because I have not been to all of these places, but south of France just like didn't really do it for me. I felt like it was a little overrated, but maybe it's because I've been to so many places in Europe. Like it was also very, very busy, and we went during a very, very busy season. And we also had a lot of travel issues. And so I think that contributed. But honestly, I didn't go to that many places. So I really want to go back and try it again. But I do feel like it was a little overrated.
I feel like we have to dive into this at some point in time because I've also been to the south of France and I loved it. So
Right.
we need to dive into it
Okay,
later.
you need to tell me like your itinerary and what you did because I feel like maybe we did it wrong, but we were on like a very tight schedule when we went there. And so I feel like it just made it feel not like a vacation. Like I want to go there and just chill. We had like a lot of train issues and plane issues, and you know how that goes.
Yeah, totally get that.
Maybe you need a redo.
We need a redo. We
Need a
always say, like, we've been so many places. Nicholas and I, my boyfriend and I have been so many places, and we love to travel. That's like our thing. And I feel like that was one of our harder trips. I would say most of the first half. The second half was amazing. We went to a very dear friend's wedding and it was beautiful, like incredible. But the first half where it was just the two of us was a little rough. Maybe that's another story.
Marley's question was, you are a world traveler. What has been your most memorable trip and why? So this is the opposite.
Okay, this is more fun. I feel like I like this question better. I think my most memorable, oh, it's hard. I think Greece. And I went to Greece when I was younger. It was like, maybe 7 years ago now, and probably a little more actually, but it was just amazing. And I'd always dreamed of going there. I always joke now that I just want to be Greek. And it was just incredible. Like truly, it was more than I could ever dream of. Mamma Mia trip. I can't wait to go back there. I only went to 2 islands when we did that. It was one of my like, I wouldn't say first, but towards the beginning of my like travels in Europe. And so I felt like it was just really special and nothing could go wrong.
I love that. If you guys aren't following G's travel Instagram, you should. You have to plug that at the end. Okay.
Well, I will.
You
It
do.
needs updating, honestly. So maybe this will inspire me to do so.
Wrapping up our founder question segment with my question. You and your lovely boyfriend, Nicholas, own a really cool store in downtown Charleston. You sell like the coolest handmade leather goods and unique pieces. What is something that people might not realize is similar about being a realtor that is also the same with owning a store, managing a store, that sort of thing?
That's a really good question. I think that, I mean, the very basic answer is that it's sales, right? You're selling houses, you're selling products. Nicholas is extremely talented and a true craftsman, to say the least. So he does not make it hard to sell any of those things. But I would say, in regards to like management, it's very much your own, it's just your own business. Like there's very similar like admin work, marketing work for the shop is very similar, I feel like, to admin work and marketing work in real estate. I think that I've loved boisterous and kind of the doing both because I think that it's introduced me to a lot of people and we're kind of always in the know. Where his shop is located is closer to south of Broad area, which is closer to the tip of the peninsula, a very historic part of town, probably the most. And this area is like the creme de la creme of all real estate. And so I feel like I'm always getting like just snippets of what's coming soon, or people are super chatty in the store. So they're always like, they live there. That's their neighborhood oftentimes. And so I feel like I get to meet a lot of the people that are down there, and it just kind of like the worlds collide for sure.
I love that. You have the inside scoop.
Yes. Yes. The inside scoop.
I will also say that we had the pleasure of going to Charleston last year for our first retreat. and we had a little happy hour at Boisterous, and that was the cutest store. Like his work is phenomenal, and the amount of women that got pieces from him, it was hard not to. He's so talented.
Thank you for saying that. We were so happy to host you guys. And that's like one of my favorite events we've ever done. That was so fun and so special. And I also feel like too, the event aspect, like it just makes sense to work for us to work together because we're kind of always getting in front of this similar people and similar like demographics of people throughout town. And it just makes it so much fun. And honestly, I could rave about him and his work all day. It comes very, very naturally.
I'm sure. I know Carly got a custom bag made from him after that weekend, and it's so beautiful. So yeah, his
That
talent
bag.
is next level.
What
Thank you
was the material? Do you remember?
I'm trying to remember what Carly did. I know she did.
It was Croc, I think.
Yeah, I think she did crocodile and it was a very cool, like olive green type tone. She really wanted green. That bag was incredible. I struggle. I think that they're all mine. Honestly, that he makes a lot of them at our house, like when he's actually doing the work of it, like he'll do it on the couch and stuff. And sometimes I'm just like, I can't even look because I just want them so bad. I'm like, can you put me next in line one day?
What would you say his one of the best sellers are? Is it the bags?
I think I think the best sellers are definitely bags. And then also he does Apple Watch bands and people just get obsessed with them. They're a really good price point and also they're very interchangeable. And so people collect them for like different events or they have like their fancy one for an event or they have their day to day. And that is really fun for sure. I think those are really fun pieces.
We'll have to link the Instagram down in the comments below so that people can go look at all these incredible bags while they listen to the rest of this episode.
Please do with the holidays coming. They're good gifts. I feel like right now we're prepping for the holiday season and we have mostly a boisterous event every single weekend until Christmas. So come shop with us. We'll be open.
So fun. Let's shift gears a little bit and talk about Power Haus Women because you are, like I said, one of our founding members. And I think it's really cool the story kind of how you came to us in a sense. And it's really just like a testament to the power of social media being a social platform. So Marley actually sent us the original DMs, which I had never seen. I don't know, Kelsey, had you seen these before?
No.
They're so cute.
They're
It's
so cute. So Gio reached out to our fellow co-founder, Marley, who you guys know. Marley basically, she's a realtor. Gio's a realtor. They post content. Marley posts dope style content. Similar to me, actually. Like we're name twins and we think the same because I reached out to Marley and I was like, your content is so cool. You did a very similar thing. You introduced yourself that you're a realtor. You basically were saying, I'm always looking to get in touch with other realtors. And Marley answered kind of like, very not super surface level, but like it kind of stopped there. This is in like January. I don't know where Power Haus Women was at the time, but again, this is like 3 years ago now, which is wild. And I think January, the end of January, Marley reached back out because I had sent a message in the chat saying, I need a realtor in Charleston because I had a client to refer. Marley said, I had a realtor from Charleston DM me. So she DM'd you in June. So January to June said, hi, Giovanna. It's been a while. Hope all is well. Just wanted to send you a quick little message. I am part of a national referral network group made up of female real estate agents across the country. And someone asked for an agent in South Carolina, specifically in Charleston. So I mentioned you. My colleague Giovanna just sent you a message. Hope it all works out. Would love to talk more in depth about the group as well if you're interested in joining. And then you said, hi, Marley. Love your name. So fun. She just sent over a message. I just gave her a call and let her know sometimes I'm able to chat. Thank you so much for thinking of me. Would love to discuss this networking group more in depth. I remember hopping on a call with you after that. And I remember because I'm like, I just pace while I talk on the phone. And I remember being in my old apartment, like just pacing around. And we were just like yapping. I'm like, this is my girl. Like, and the rest is history. And it's just so funny. A message, being bold enough to just like say, hey, I think you're cool.
Oh my gosh. No, I followed Marley for a long time and was just kind of like, oh, I love all she's sharing and she's doing so great and she's got herself so organized. And then when she messaged me about you, Gia, I was like, wait a second. It's weird because she's spelling my name with like an A, Gia. And I was like, is she trying to spell my name? But I was like, oh, maybe she just accidentally wrote my name. I was like confused. I was like, I'm not following. And then I think you followed me, or maybe I looked you up or something. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so weird because I feel like our names are not the most common
No,
at all. And
no.
so it was fate, obviously. Here we are.
It's totally fate. We have to finish that reel.
Yes, we do.
I'll finish it this week from the last year's retreat. You guys will see it. It'll be on the feed by the time this episode comes out.
100%. I love it.
But you were essentially one of our first members, like technically a founding member. Because if that was in January, we started Power Haus in June of 2023. So yeah, you were like one of our first ones, and we're so happy to have you and still have you here with us.
Oh my gosh. Well, the pleasure's all mine. I laugh because I think, who was I messaging? I was messaging one of the girls the other day and we were talking about, I think I came like right after the group chat because when I first joined, like I did the call with all of you and then you sent me to Telegram. And that's where like we really kind of started connecting in all different aspects and we had all of our different chats. But maybe was Anna in the group chat originally?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so maybe it was Anna and I, and we were just saying like how crazy it is. Cause I was like, I've heard about the group chat, but I think I maybe was like one of the first ones to come right after the group chat evolved into a more, legitimate little chat room on Telegram, which I am obsessed with. I was joking yesterday. I was telling my boyfriend, Nicholas, I was like, I feel like everyone, obviously, this whole era of AI and chat GPT is everything. I'm like in real estate and honestly in life, I feel like my chat GPT is Telegram with Power Haus. Like I can literally post anything in there and I'm getting like full blown responses of like, it's crazy. Like I love it so much. And honestly, I was saying too, like I just want to keep up with everything going on in there. Like it's so special to have a place where you feel so not just welcomed, but people genuinely care about what you're asking. And I think it's because they care about you and what you're doing. But I feel like you don't even have to ask. It's not just about real estate, which I love. Like I feel like we're always talking about marketing or even random travel stuff. Like, have you guys been here? And just the responses and like, it's the best. It's my own little girly chat GPT, but better.
We should steal that. We should steal that and use that somehow because you're right.
It is. You could ask anything in there. Everyone just like comes to you like with a million ideas. It's the best.
There's no gatekeeping. It's
Zero.
Zero. I mean, that was a big thing for us with bringing girls on. It's like, no, we're all going to be besties. We're all going to support each other. We're all going to love each other. And that's exactly what Power Haus Women is and what it's turned into.
I think that's so special. My brokerage that I work for is female owned, female run. And it's just kind of like a girl gang of women. And it's so great. I feel like we have varying ages. We do have two guys now. It's kind of the girls and the gays, is what we say over here. But it's been amazing. And I just feel like it's so fun to be in that kind of environment. And I don't think that maybe a lot of women can necessarily relate, especially in the workplace. Like I feel like it can be really competitive, especially in our industry. Like real estate's so cutthroat, and to be in a space where people will actually share their ideas and root for you and ask questions and get to know you, like that would, if I didn't have like my brokerage and Power House and the two, I just can't imagine what real estate would be like for me, honestly. I think it would be a completely different experience.
No, definitely. It's huge when you have that support system, both in your brokerage and, outside of it. This industry can feel so lonely,
Oh my,
especially, when you don't have that. So I'm so happy to hear that you feel that way about Power House Women, but also your brokerage, because that's really important. Those are the people that you are really working with day in and day out and trying to get deals done with. And so you have to like each other and you have to be a support system.
You get so close with the people that you work with too. Like you see them more than your significant other, your family, your actual friends. Like it's different. So you definitely need that for sure.
it is so different. I started at my brokerage when I was 22. I think I just turned 23. And so I feel like I've grown up, honestly, in real estate and in the real estate industry. I feel like all of my 20s. I think I was 19 when I got my license. And so it's so fun to evolve, but evolve with people that are like you.
Okay, so now we're gonna segue kind of into Charleston as a whole. What are the most underrated things about Charleston, and like what are some hidden gems that you would suggest?
Oh my gosh, I could talk about this all day. I think that the most underrated places and hidden gems, like most underrated things about the city or just the area in general.
Yeah, I would say either one.
Okay, I think that proximity to things like the downtown peninsula is kind of that's downtown Charleston. That's the central area of everywhere that surrounds the peninsula is kind of where people want to reside and want to go. But I think that people think those places are further apart. Like the beach from downtown Charleston is like 20 minutes. Of course, with traffic, it can be longer, but I think the proximity is underrated. Like you can really live kind of a city life and be by the beaches, which is a huge perk. Obviously, the weather is so beautiful. And I think people have the perception that it's always smoking hot here. The summers, like July and August, are pretty brutal, like very, very humid. I tell people from the Northeast, like, don't come visit then. You'll just be so hot, you won't be able to handle it. But we do have semi seasons, I would say. I think our fall probably feels like a spring. Like today it's 70 and it's low humidity. So obviously I'm wearing a sweater. Of course, it's 70 with no humidity, but it's I would say the weather, just maybe sometimes people have like a misperception. In November to February, it does really cool down. Like you can have days cool, I would say would be like 60s to 40s kind of range, which I think is great to have a little bit of a cool season because the summers are really hot. I think there's so many hidden gems here. I mean, obviously, Boister's Couture, leather goods, of course. And I think, yes, the best. No, but truthfully, I will say too, over the years, the city has grown tremendously. And so King Street is kind of like the main street of the downtown peninsula with all the shopping. And that whole street used to be like local boutiques and local shops. And now we've gained, and there are so many big name brand stores. We have Anthro, we have Urban Outfitters, we've got lots now, which is great. I think some people complain about that because it feels less local, but Broad Street, where Boisters is located, has tons of galleries and local shops that feels still kind of old Charleston. And it's charming. And so I usually try to send people to Broad Street. Like if you're looking for more local boutiques and things. Of course, King Street still has a few, but I think is kind of where it's at with that. And sometimes people kind of skip that because there's also a lot of law firms and a few like brick and mortar places. So you kind of get confused. It's very, very historic looking. There's a few churches. And so you're like, is what's going on here? But I think it's a very local place to kind of feel the charm and enjoy the shopping that feels a little more local.
Yeah, I can definitely say that I felt the charm when I was there. I
Yes.
think you need both, you need some of the higher end stores, but
Sure.
I feel like a place like Charleston will always have that like small town, I don't know, charming feel, historic feel to it.
Certainly.
I mean, one of the places that comes to mind is that cute charm place that we all went and made charm necklaces at. That was so cute.
That
There
is
was,
the
no, go ahead.
cutest. No, that's the cutest place. So we went and made charm necklaces. It's called Holston Lee. And there's like also on that same street, there's Holston Lee, and then there's this incredible French bakery called La Chambertine, and it is so good. I think some of the girls may have gone there and they have incredible croissants, baguettes, so good. But yeah, I feel like that kind of whole little French Quarter area has just so many little hidden gems. And I think what's really special and maybe a little underrated about Charleston is that's the charm, right? Is just like walking around and kind of getting lost and finding those little places.
Where did I make my hat? You know how many compliments I get on my hat from that weekend? Like, I literally wore it this past weekend in the Hamptons, and people were stopping me, being like, where did you get that hat? Where can I find it? And I was like, I made it in Charleston.
Hat. So we went to the local hat place that we all went to and made the hats is called Southern Roots. And it's so fun. We've done tons of collaborations with Southern Roots because Nicholas will make leather hat bands for the hats. And it's just so fun. She's amazing. And her space is incredible. Like, didn't you feel like there was just endless things you could do to your hat? Like
Yeah,
your room.
it was a problem because I literally could not make up my mind.
I
Like
know.
too many options to the point where I was like, I could be in here for 5 hours. But I also thought it was very cool how they had rooms set up as a theme. So if you didn't know, you could just walk in and be like, okay, this is very cool. This is kind of what I'm going for. So it was really helpful because when you have all of those options in front of your eyes, all the different colors, it can get a little overwhelming, but such a cool experience. And that was the first time I did it. And I was able to get my initials on it and like really brand it, which I think is such a fun experience.
Yes, she's so talented. And I also think too, like getting a custom hat like that, I mean, everything's for me, travel, the things I love most about traveling are those like memories and experiences. To me, that's an experience. And you also get a hat to remember. So it's just like really special for sure. And she does a
Yeah.
good job. She has like such good quality hats and all of her work is just amazing. We love working with her. She's awesome. I'm so glad we all got to do that.
Me too. I also love that you guys collab with her. Like that's such a cool collaboration because it makes sense between the hats and his leather goods.
Thank you. Yes, I think that we try really hard. Charleston is also, while it's a city, I think that it has a town feel in a sense. Like, I feel like kind of everyone knows everyone after a while. And I think the collaboration, not even just in like the art space, but throughout the whole city and food and bev, kind of throughout that whole scene of hospitality, it's just fun to collaborate. And I think it makes things better. I love when I see local places collaborating with one another. I think that it just speaks to the community.
I was thinking about this the other day. I feel like we've, as a society, gone back to like bartering. Like, you know how back in the day, like before there was money, like we would like, I'll give you this plant and you'll give me that like meat. Like, now like money's still involved usually, but I mean, it's like brand collabs and influencer collabs. And like we've been exploring collabs like with Power Haus Women and other brands, like brand to brand collabs and like small business, like B2B collabs. It's just so, it's all bartering, really.
Yes, I am always like, Nicholas, take a bag over here. We can do this. Like, I'm loving what she's doing or loving what he's doing, or just like, I feel like we do have kind of an artsy scene here too. And I just like love to see everyone's creative side come out and what a pretty city to do it in. Seriously. I know we're spoiled. I think that like the thing about Charleston is it probably is one of the oldest collection of historic preserved homes, I would say, in the country. And you just don't see that everywhere. To have that as a backdrop and just to be able to walk by them, I mean, it's inspiring. And I think that people feel that way when they visit here and when they live here.
Sure. I can say that I definitely did. I'm a sucker for a house with charm. and like history and things like that. So yeah, when we were in those houses taking content, I was like, oh my God, I could totally see myself living here. It's just so cute and so quaint.
Even
It's
our
so,
retreat house was gorgeous, which
oh
is
my
an
gosh.
Airbnb. It's the Thomas Waring house, right? That's the name of it.
Yes.
And it was like, mind you, it has 11 bedrooms, and we packed that house. Like we
Every
absolutely
single one.
we had like 26, 27 women sleeping there, but it was gorgeous. Like so beautifully renovated. Here in Greater Boston, a lot of times, like we have homes that have so much character, but you see developers just like strip it of all of its character and make it like a white, sterile box. And I feel like you don't see that as much from what I've observed in Charleston. I feel like people kind of tend to preserve that. Is that the case?
Yes, the city takes it very seriously, and there's a lot of rules and regulations regarding what you can and can't do to the historic buildings. And, it creates a lot of opinion for sure. We definitely have bigger developments that have come into town and people feel one way or another. I think that it's kind of great to have a mix of both. But I will say that I am the same, Kels. Like I just love charming character. Those houses are all beautiful. A lot of them have a lot of issues. So in regards to a real estate sale or being a buyer or seller, I think it can be a challenge and it just requires a lot of maintenance and upkeep. But I think it really speaks to just the history of the city. And I think it's so important. Like we don't see this everywhere for a reason, which is why our rules and regulations are so strict.
Makes sense. It's similar in the Hamptons too, because when you go to places like Sag Harbor, that's where you're going to see all the charm and the history, and they really like to preserve it too. They're incredibly strict about that, especially in the village. But everywhere else, you're seeing these builders build these modern homes that are very different. And I love a modern home too, but we're just seeing less and less of it as well. So it's when you do see it, it's like, it hits home because I truly love them. And they're also very expensive, but I do agree they tend to have some issues, but at the same time, they're just so beautiful. So
They're
Some
so good. It's
built
so
better than the newer homes because like it's like better wood and just better craftsmanship. People did stuff with so much more intention and care back when
totally.
these homes were built. So it shows.
It does. And I also think too, it's a matter of like how you keep up with your things. That's anything in life. You just have to keep
it's true.
and take care of it.
What would you say the typical price point is in Charleston? Like median price point, I guess.
That's a really good question. So I would say the price points really vary by like area. And so you've got Mount Pleasant, which is like a little more of a suburb. You have the beaches, which are obviously higher price points. Downtown, I would say like, don't quote me on this because I'm not looking at the stats at the moment, but I would say like you're not really going to find anything downtown, like single family home for, I would say less than like 700 to a million. And that's like probably still going to need a lot of work.
Interesting. It's always, I love to hear
I know it's
how it is in other markets.
yes, yes. I mean, that's obviously probably low compared to the Hamptons. And, I'm speaking for the peninsula as a whole. It's hard to say that because there's just so many different neighborhoods downtown and like South Abroad is the creme de la creme of the peninsula. And, that's, I would say 2 million and above realistically. Whereas the Upper Peninsula is kind of trending that way now too. It's just, it changes. So it's been changing for so long. It's only been going up, which, people have mixed feelings about, but it's great for my property value.
For
No, I love living downtown. I can't imagine. I joke all the time. I'm like, I have to live on the peninsula. My whole life is here. But the kind of irony of that is that the surrounding suburbs are like 10 to 15 minutes away. So it's just not that big of a deal. It's not that far.
How's your Airbnb business going? You obviously have your property. So
Mhm.
is it going well?
Yes, the Airbnb I've had for almost 5 years now, which is crazy. It's good. So our Airbnb is called the Oyster House and it's a 2-bed, 1-bath. I feel like it's gone through just So it's evolved for sure as we've renovated the property over the years. It's really cute. We just did some refurnishing like the end of last year. And so it has a little more of a brighter vibe right now. So it's looking good. And I feel like as of lately, we've had really good guests. Now it's kind of a well-oiled machine. I manage it myself, as you guys know. And I just have a really great cleaning company and they're fantastic. And we just kind of work together on all of the bookings. But I've really enjoyed it. I feel like I meet a lot of great people. And for the most part, where the neighborhood that I live in downtown is called Wagner Terrace, and it's a more residential neighborhood just off of Hampton Park. And I feel like most of my guests are either visiting their family within the neighborhood or friends, or somehow there's some sort of connection. To me, that's really special because it's a place that, people can connect and create memories. And I think that kind of just like goes along with my own love for travel and experiences. So it's been really great. I mean, obviously, there are challenges at times, but I feel like for the most part, we've been really lucky. I've heard a lot of Airbnb host horror stories. And I feel like for the most part, they know that I live there and that I manage it. And I feel like that makes them just want to be even more respectful and nice.
I was gonna say, you probably, since you live there as well, you probably get to meet them.
Yeah.
So, have you ever had any Airbnb clients turn into potential buyers?
I've had maybe, I think one or two that have one rented long term downtown, but I haven't had anyone close a deal. I think that a lot of people that come, like I said, to my Airbnb specifically, they have family that own property there. So for them, they're kind of at their family's house using what they have, their pool, their views, their amenities, and then they're sleeping at my house or at my Airbnb. So I feel like it's not like they kind of already have some roots here, but their family's house or friend's house doesn't have enough bedrooms for them to sleep in. Like sometimes I feel like I don't see people all day and they just like come back to sleep. But I also try to, I don't want to say separate the two because of course I would love to work with, anyone that stays in the B&B. We already have a connection. We've already had a good experience together. But sometimes because the Airbnb is run out of my actual home, I feel like sometimes I have to create like a little bit of a safe space, like a little bit of a separation, just because if not, I'm actually working 24/7. And sometimes, like, it's an old house. Like, our house was built in the 60s and the walls are very thin, PSA. So, you can hear things and, you don't always feel like you're alone, which I personally like because I am like scared home alone. But I would say that in regards to like selling real estate, being at the store, running an Airbnb, I'm very like forward facing with people a lot. So sometimes when I'm back at the house, I am hiding a little bit or trying to, depending on the day.
That makes sense. That makes
Depending on
sense.
the guest. You were such an amazing host when we were all in Charleston, though. You were texting us like every 3 minutes, being like, "Do you need anything? Are you guys good? Can I get you anything? Can I help with anything?" Like, so we got a little taste of you as a host, which
I feel like it's just in me. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Besides, my parents are very good hosts. My grandparents are very good hosts and just like very hospitable to people. But I will say, moving to Charleston, I think that I used to be in food and bev. I used to waitress. And so that kind of ingrains that kind of hospitality into you, but service above all. But I will say that Charleston is definitely like we're in the South. So Southern hospitality is a thing. And after going to college here and working here for years, it's definitely very ingrained in me. Like New England, I feel like there's a lot of charm and character, and people are nice, but they're not going to, like, I say thank you so much to basically everything. Like there, you just say thank you. That's normal. But I'm like, thank you so much. So aggressive, like so extreme. And I kind of feel like that is a thing here that has been so ingrained in me. But I also really genuinely love to host. I do. Like it's so fun to me. And I love people coming to visit. And I love to show people a good time, obviously, who wouldn't in a city like this.
So fun.
What piece of advice would you give to somebody who wants to get into the Airbnb world?
That's a really good question. I mean, people call me every day wanting an Airbnb in Charleston. Of course, I will help anyone and everyone, but it is really challenging here now with the rules and regulations. It's very restrictive, and you cannot just buy like a charming little downtown Charleston house and just turn it into an Airbnb. The city won't allow you. And so I won't get into the exact details. Call me if you want to chat through. But I will say, I think that like my best advice is do your research on the area, work with someone that knows the area. And with Airbnb, like I am a big proponent of self-managing if you like live in the city and you're nearby. If not, of course, connect with a property management company. But I think it's really just about like getting really systematic and setting boundaries and expectations with the people coming. Like as a guest, I try to think of myself too. Like I stay in Airbnbs all the time and rentals, and I love to travel and I'm always in someone else's house. So I try to think like, what about the experience, those experiences do I love? And then I try to kind of, replicate that in how I communicate with my own guests. So I think like it's really about experience and just being very organized. Like, obviously, I think cleanliness is a huge thing. Like, you have to have a good cleaning company or people are going to complain. Like, you would complain too, right? Like, if you go somewhere and it doesn't meet your cleaning standards. Comfy bedding, I think, is really, really good. I think our mattresses are Nest, I think, and people always say they're really, really comfortable. The piece of advice that I have that's kind of seems small, but I think actually makes a really big difference is having just double of everything, which I know sounds so dramatic, but double rugs, double bedding, because then my cleaning crew just comes in and I use ruggables. And so you can just put them in the washing machine. But my cleaning crew literally just comes in, they take all the rugs, they take all the linens, all my couch covers just zip right off, and they take them and then they replace them with a clean set and they take all the dirty ones. It just makes the process a lot quicker. But I think my final piece of advice that I think is really important, probably not just in this space, but in life in general, is you have to set boundaries, because if someone complains and like I've caught myself doing this, like they're barely complaining. And I am such a people pleaser that I'm like, oh my gosh, like I go above and beyond for them because they need an extra paper towel roll. They're just going to keep coming back for more and more and more. And so you have to set some boundaries, like respect type things, because if not, especially if you live on the property, you are their bestie, which I love in ways. But of course, like at times you have to be able to say no. And I think like kind of creating a set of rules and regulations, maybe for yourself as well as the property manager, kind of beforehand. But it's a live and learn experience, truthfully.
Imagine.
Yes.
I can imagine.
So interesting. I didn't even think about like Airbnb regulations. In Boston, we don't really have Airbnbs. Like they're not a big thing.
There's so many here now. And it's like, for instance, the only reason that I can Airbnb my other side of the duplex is because I live there. And the duplex is my primary residence. And so I pay like taxes a little differently. Like the taxes are prorated. So I pay a higher tax rate on the Airbnb than I do on my side of the building, essentially. That's like my primary residence. But that's just for the district that I'm in. Like there's different zones and they all have different rules. And sometimes I feel like I'm like killing people's dreams a little when they call me to have an Airbnb, because Charleston's also, become it's been seen. It's no longer so much a hidden gem, I feel. And if you want to have an Airbnb property here, a lot of them don't cash flow right out the gate. And so you're kind of investing in long-term appreciation, which I think a lot of people are very comfortable and confident doing that. But it's not a situation where you're just going to buy one of these beautiful houses and then just like make a killing. And honestly, I might say that about any Airbnb experience. Like properties are work and they take time. you can make a lot of money and then you have to replace the roof. It's just like part of owning an investment property in general.
Totally.
It's similar to the Hamptons in a way. I mean, technically, Airbnb is frowned upon in the Hamptons. And if you do it, you have to follow it. It has to be a minimum of 2 weeks. It can't be anything below that. I mean, you can, but you risk the chance of the town finding out and you're going to get a huge fine, probably get your rental permit taken away. It's a whole thing. But it's very similar to Charleston where, every area is a little bit different in how they handle things. But everybody comes out here and wants an investment property to rent out. And in COVID, it was booming because everybody wanted to leave from New York City and come to the Hamptons. But now it's kind of leveled out where very similar, they're like, okay, I want to buy a property, I want to buy a property. But the longer term renters are not coming out here as much. You're not seeing the Memorial Day to Labor Day anymore like it used to be. You're maybe not even seeing like a full month renter anymore. So I give the same advice, when people want to invest out here and get a property, I'm like, well, just to let you know, things have changed a little bit. So you can't expect to get what people were getting during COVID. And you have to be transparent about that.
Totally. And I mean, an investment is always like a risk that you're running. It's never super clear. It's never 100%. And if it was, and we could predict that, obviously we'd probably own every home there is. But I mean, that's just reality. It's just a little unpredictable. And I would say with any rentals in general, you just really have to learn the area you're in. Like you have to learn the area you're in. I think sometimes people come here and they're just like, we love this street. It's so cute. I'm like, well, you can't Airbnb here. You can't. So you just have to learn where you are.
Due diligence.
Yes. Essential.
We'll make sure to put the Oyster House website in the show notes if anyone is going to Charleston and is looking for a really cute Airbnb because it is adorable.
Thank you. We would love to have you.
Course.
Should we wrap it up with some hot takes? I mean, mine's not that interesting, but and we do it a lot in our business, but I absolutely hate small talk. Like, I hate it.
Oh.
Like, I need to we got to have deep conversation. You need to have some depth to you. This could be in a relationship. It could be in a friendship. It could be in a business relationship. Like, we got to get deep with each other or like, I have no interest. You've lost me.
Stop asking me about the weather. I don't care.
Yeah.
We all know it's raining.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I honestly, Kels, the South may not be for you because I feel like there's a lot of small talk here, or people can be at first, like can be a little surface level before really diving in, but that's hilarious. And I think that's a great take.
Yeah. I basically just hate surface level shit with anything.
Very fair. Very fair.
Now I'm gonna rethink every time I text Kelsey, like, how's your day going? Like,
Yeah,
backspace.
I text Kelsey yesterday in our Zoom call and was telling her how much I loved her hair. But I feel like that's more of a compliment instead of small talk.
Totally. No,
yeah,
the color is so good.
Thanks, guys.
That looks
That's
great.
so sweet. Okay, what's another hot take?
Old money brown. Okay.
That's what I was going for. Old money brown.
I'll say one. Because I work part-time at a coffee shop, and I also used to work at the same coffee shop like 10 years ago when I was in college for a year before I dropped out. Some people's coffee orders are mad weird.
I can only imagine.
It's like, that's like what you need to have first thing in the morning, like prior to 6 a.m. every single day. Sometimes it's just baffling.
Give us an example.
What's the worst one you've heard?
One time we got 2 in a row. We got an online order for a coffee, specifically with 6 full shots of, I forget the flavor, but a flavored syrup. Mind you, like a medium-sized coffee, okay? Like medium-sized coffee, a shot glass, like an actual like liquor shot glass full. So it like fills up this much of the cup. Like like it's insane. So like, and then within the same like hour, this woman came in and like had a bunch of orders. So I don't know if this was for her or for somebody else, but she ordered, I didn't make this coffee. She ordered 9 shots of like vanilla syrup in this coffee. And my coworker that was making it, like, I'm not even kidding. And she's a sweetheart. And genuinely, I think she was just concerned. But she like couldn't hide her face. Like, couldn't hide the like, oh, and then the woman was like, she was like, it's not for me. Like, it could have been. It totally could have been. And then she was like, oh no, I just wanted to make sure that I heard you right or something.
That's so
And
fun.
like once in a while, maybe, but like nobody needs that much sugar in syrup form.
Almost like they're ordering like just like a vanilla syrup with a shot of espresso. Like that's like what they're ordering. Yeah.
Like without coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a shot of coffee. Like it's basically all syrup.
Drink just like espresso over ice. Like one espresso in a large cup over ice.
I think I would literally have a heart attack.
I would have a heart attack and die. Caffeine in me, that would be like terrifying. That would be terrifying. I have a hot take
Okay.
on football Sunday. The commentators.
Yeah.
Game. I'm obviously not like a big sports girly here, but Nicholas is very into sports and football is like a sacred day of our week in our household, which I love. Like I love how into it he is. But the commentators, like some of the things that they say, it's baffling to me that like they're paid. Like they'll just randomly say the most crazy things. Like that almost sometimes I'm just like, doesn't even relate. I'm trying to think of an example, like crazy things like, or very obvious things. He just missed the ball. Like we saw it. We were there. It's just crazy. Like, I think they're so annoying.
It gives me the ick. It truly gives me the ick. I'm with you on this one.
Funny when they try to like joke with each other and they're like they have the humor of like a grandfather and it's just not like just stop.
Yes. Or like they'll like mention like they'll randomly just mention one of the players like family members or something. And you're like, this is just so irrelevant. Like this has nothing to do with the game. But
or like Dolphins versus Jets and like they're talking about Tom Brady and you're like, enough. Why are we talking about him? He doesn't even play football.
I think it makes me not like football. And he was like, babe, people have a lot of opinions on that. You can't be saying that. I'm like, I'm here to say it. I do not subscribe.
This is about to launch peak football season and like people are clicking this off right now. But honestly, it's all good.
Don't cancel me.
No, but this is the whole point of you're allowed to have your opinions. Take it or leave it, babe. That's it. I love it. Gio, we adore you. Absolutely adore you. This has been so much fun. You'll have to come back and we'll have to do another episode. Where can people connect with you, find you, book your Airbnb? We'll make sure to put everything in the show notes, but just give them a quick.
So many places, but quickly, I will say on Instagram at giovanna.realtor and boisterous.co is our website for boisterous Southern couture. And other than that, I feel like those are the easiest 2 places to find me. The Oyster House. Just search the Oyster House Airbnb Charleston. It will come up. Yeah. Thank you for having me. You guys are the best. I'm so honored to be here. Can't wait to come back.
You're the best. Thank you. We love you.
Love you guys.
That's a wrap on this episode of At the Table with Power Haus Women. Thanks for tuning in. If you love today's conversation, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a review.
Your support helps us keep pulling up more seats at the table.
Want to keep the conversation going? Join the movement at powerhousewomen.com/society.
And connect with us on Instagram at Power Haus Women.
Until next time, keep showing up, keep building, and remember, there's always room at the table for you.